I think reliability, quality of components, and upgradability are the key things, to maintain your machine up to date.
You just touched upon kind of my next question in some ways in terms of upgrades and innovations. What are some of the key trends and developments in the 3D printing construction machine market? And how can companies stay up to date on emerging technology and innovations? And I want to ask this question because I'm sure the machines will get better within time. They'll become also a lot more affordable, the parts to find them. But, in your opinion, we can start with you, Boris. What are some of those key trends, developments that you're listening to, you have an ear out, or, that you think that people should be, understand what's coming off these machines?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And basically, we are trying to foresee what is the next big thing, and where is the technological trend which will make a better impact of this technology. So part of that I've mentioned, but just to summarize that. So first is the increasing of automation. So number of operations which are done by the machine, and the evolution from construction 3D printing to construction automation, I think is the major trend which we can see in the near future. Like, for example, automatic painting, automatic surface treatment, installing windows, doors, trusses, printing not only the walls but also the foundations and ceilings, automating the printing of insulation, and also going from one-storied houses to multi-storied houses, and even relatively high-rise buildings, thanks to smart modular printing, something like that. We also gonna expect the increase in speed. We're gonna expect start printing with multiple materials simultaneously. I've also mentioned the machine vision and the other advanced sensors, which are actually already common for example, for metal 3D printing, but still are something new for construction 3D printing. Another big challenge, which I think should be tackled, is some kind of reinforcement automation, or adjusting the parameters of the printing material, like, reducing the need in reinforcements, somehow increasing tensile strengths of the structures, something like that. So these are some points I would name here.
Great. Jim, your thoughts? Because I know you guys are, I've heard you guys have built trusses, which is pretty cool. But what are your thoughts on basically what Boris mentioned in terms of emerging technology and innovations, and most importantly, more automations coming into these machines?
Well, I would agree wholeheartedly with everything you just said there, especially the automation of other features. So the embedment of reinforcement and plumbing, electrical, mechanical features, co-botting, so to speak, having additional heads on your robot to do other features while things are still printing, or printing multi-materials. All that stuff. I can't imagine that that's not coming in the next few years here. One of the things we've just released is a system of including reinforcement in our beads. Some of you may have seen that. So that's one of the things that we're working on right now, to take different types of fiberglass or even metal stranded woven materials that are embedded directly in the beads of the nozzle. It just seems like the way this is going is a very hands-off approach. Everything's going to be very thoroughly pre-planned. Everything will be calculated. You'll be able to make predictions about costing, which is going to be very important for the industry as a whole. Obviously, cost overruns seem to be a very common theme in construction. It's almost something you need to include in your calculations. So, combating that, it's all coming. There's no stopping. It's great.
Touch upon something that kind of relates to the next question, which is, looking to the future, how can companies ensure that their 3D printing construction machine investments are aligned with the broader goals of sustainability and environmental responsibility? Boris, we can start with you, and then from here we go to the Q&A for people who are asking right now in the chat.
I think that the sustainability question is, of course, kind of more related to the material side of the world. But 3D printers as machines, as equipment, are also part of the game, mainly in the fashion of how those materials, sustainable materials, are integrated or can be used with this or that printing system. Like, for example, even when you want to print geopolymer instead of a regular mortar, you have to use different mixing strategy and basically some kind of different equipment to mix, and also you will have to do the adjustments in printing head. In this regard, machine manufacturers, they have to be ready for those adjustments, to be ready to use those sustainable materials and whatever will appear. Like, for example, today somebody mentioned bio-based insulation, kind of fungus-based. So again, if we want to automate that, then we need to think how it will be printed or automated along with the printing process. So I think that the machine has to follow the material in that regard. And also another part of sustainability, I think, is the energy efficiency, because basically smart strategies of insulation and therefore smart strategies of printing and wall structures, they, can save a lot of energy for our communities and for the planet if you scale it to the world amount of scale. Yeah, so something like that.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Yeah, Boris, I really love the geopolymer material and the whole idea around it. So I really applaud you for working with that material. I know it's not an easy material to process because it is a batch mixing material. So we've played with it a little bit. It has been a little bit of it's a challenge to use in a continuous system, but we're continuing to work with it. We also are working with some alternate materials with some of the universities in Canada here together to develop some alternate ingredients. One of which is wood ash to help replace some of the other materials like fly ash and things like that are being used and are slowly. They went from a waste product, a problem, to a useful product. And they're slowly drying up now. So definitely going to need to continue to look for alternate materials.